Alright, so we're going to start off with a base coat. Here I'm using my favorite Sally Hansen's Hardener base coat, and I'm going to apply this to all my nails. And because it is Valentine's, I decided to go with a soft pink nail polish color, and this is the same color that I'm going to be using for my negative heart and my pointer finger and my pinky. So starting off with my pointer or my pinky finger, I'm going to be using 2 striping tapes and running them along parallel to each other and just having a nice gap in between. And here I'm just making sure that there's no bubbles underneath. And now with a dotting tool or a toothpick dipped in your nail polish color, I'm just going to be using this to run along the line so I won't get any on my cuticles. You're more than welcome to just go ahead and use a brush for this, but I always get really messy if I just go ahead with my brush, so I like to have a clear outline first. And then after that, I go with my brush and just fill in the gaps. And you want to make sure that as soon as you're done painting with your color, you remove the striping tapes immediately. And if your base coat lifts up from underneath, all you have to do is get a cotton swab dipped in nail polish remover and just erase your mistakes. Now I'm going to be using 4 striping tapes and I'm going to pair them up. One is going to be at the top of your gap and the second pair is going to be at the bottom of your gap. And now with a black striper or just a regular black nail polish with a toothpick, you are going to be using this to fill in the spaces in between. And like always, remove them as soon as you're done. Now going back with the same soft pink nail polish as before, we are going to start off on our negative heart. So with a steady hand, I'm just going to use a dotting tool, or you can use a toothpick, and I'm going to draw 2 dots right down the center of my nail just to kind of give myself a nice guideline as to where the middle of my nail is. Then slowly I'm going to start drawing my curve. Now the biggest tip and advice I can give for this is start out by drawing a big heart and then you can work your way down to a smaller heart. It is easier to correct your mistakes if you start out bigger rather than smaller, because if you start out smaller then you have less room for errors. So I made a small mistake and I basically made the second half of my heart a little bit smaller so it didn't look very symmetrical. All I did was just take my dotting tool and just scrape back the nail polish. Here I committed the same error and I'm just pushing back the nail polish. Make sure it's still wet if you're going to be doing this. And then once you're satisfied with your shape, you can go ahead and fill out the rest of the space around your heart. And as you can see, I managed to get nail polish all over my cuticles. I'm just really messy by nature, but with your dotting tool or with your toothpick, just go back in and remove the excess nail polish and then go back in with the cotton swab dipped in nail polish remover to erase all the nail polish that you have left on your finger. And now I'm going to go back in with my brush and just coat on it a layer on the rest of my nail. So if you did what I did and had to scrape back some of the nail polish to make your heart more symmetrical, you're still going to have some ugly nail polish residue. So I basically went back with the cotton swab. I removed the puff of the cotton swab. I dipped that in nail polish remover. That way I have a clean surface or a clean tool to work with, and then just went inside my heart and then cleaned up any of the messy scraped lines that I had. And now on my ring finger, I'm going to do my negative space stripes. So how I went about creating these negative stripes is I grabbed a total of 6 striping tapes and paired them up into 3 different pairs. The top pair are spaced out evenly from each other, and then the bottom pair is also spaced out evenly, and then the middle pair of striping tapes are going to be right next to each other. Okay, so now I just grabbed my black striper, and if you don't have a striper, just a black nail polish with a toothpick, and you are going to fill your entire nail in except for the 2 spaces in between your 2 striping tapes. So the top pair of striping tapes, leave that space in the middle alone, and then the bottom pair of striping tapes, leave that space in the middle alone as well. So you're just going to have 2 available spaces on this nail. And anytime you're using any type of tape on your nail, remove it immediately after you finish applying your nail polish. And because I'm messy, I accidentally got a flick of nail polish onto the negative space, so I'm just removing that. And we're finally on our last finger. So for the thumb, I'm just going to grab a black nail polish and give it 2 nice coats of nail polish. And for our little white heart, I'm actually going to be using white acrylic paint because after drawing the heart with nail polish, I'm just done with nail polish for the moment. So I just decided to take the easy route and use acrylic paint. And here I am just drawing, focusing from the middle point and then drawing 2 humps outside of that. And with paint, it makes it like 10 times easier to work with a nail polish. So if you have white acrylic paint, I would highly advise for you to use that. And now finally, I'm going to grab my quick dry top coat and add on a layer of top coat to all my nails. And this is going to really make the negative heart look a lot better, especially since you were messing with the nail polish a lot. The top coat is going to even out the entire layer. So I really hope you guys like this look. I actually am really in love with the negative space nail technique, so I wanted to incorporate this into a Valentine's nail design. So I really hope you guys like this one. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!